Hi, and welcome to The Better Half. I'm your host, Rachel Monick, and we have a great show planned for you today, and we welcome back a familiar face. Audie is back.
Hi,
with a new last name.
Yes.
She got married to Nick Perry since the last time we've seen you, so we can't wait to hear more about that.
Yes, I'm excited to share all my photos that we haven't really looked at, but I'm excited for you guys to see.
We get to see him first. Yeah. Heaven Daniels, of course, is back, married to Mike Daniels, and this is Rosie Sierra, Andrew Corliss' better half. So we've got also some more wives to meet coming up later, and a lot of the wives have been walking the catwalk. So much fun. But let's check in. Amy's in the kitchen. Heaven's going to be joining. Heaven is right here. Joining Amy in the kitchen. She's chopping up apples. She has two delicious fall recipes for us. So we'll check in with her. But as you can see, we're thinking pink today.
Yes.
And we have pink pumpkin that you purchased.
Yes, the proceeds go to the organization and for the awareness, so I thought it was great to buy it. So.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
I love it. And the guys were wearing pink at the last game.
Yeah.
How fun is that? Do they like it?
They look good in pink.
I think so.
Yeah.
I know Drew likes it. He said he likes to put it on his cleats, and he likes to put it, like, he puts like a strip or something, like one or two on his like his arms. Yeah.
Is it tape?
Yeah, it's tapey. Like there's a pink one, and then another pink one.
I just think it's fun.
Yeah, they show
and
their support.
right, and October is like the only month I can get Nick to wear pink. He won't wear pink, purple, yellow. I'm like, please, you look so good in bright pastel colors.
But when it's for a cause, he'll do it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you guys were busy. You did the pink pumpkin walk. I know you were there. We have a little video and some pictures. Tell us about the pink pumpkin walk.
Well, this year I decided to actually try and run it. I ran on behalf of my grandmother who passed away from cancer, and I have a good friend back home who recently was diagnosed with breast cancer. She had a mastectomy, so I just wanted to dedicate my race to her, and I just figured I could run it instead of walking. Just like she's going through so much, the least I could do is push through.
Right. I see Emily Nelson in there. I think Laura Hawk, Rosie Sierra is there with your little one.
Yeah, we decided to walk. I couldn't really do the running with him, so we walked, and it was kind of fun.
And Colton actually is my good friend's son who passed away last year from neuroblastoma cancer, so that truck is dedicated to him. So pretty cool that they had it there.
Cool. Yeah, I love your montage, your collage of photos
Yeah,
on Instagram.
photos.
And your tutu is so cute.
Yeah, we actually made those last year. Audie had a tutu on last year when we did the pink pumpkin,
yes,
so
I remember
figured
that.
I'd pull it back out.
I love it. And we have a little video of you warming up. Can you explain this to us?
Well, every year they've got the guys in the front,
That's
the guy
Rex.
and his Rex and
Rex
his kiddos.
Move to the Groove.
Move to the Groove and his kiddos. They lead us in a warm up to, get the crowd excited and warm up to race. They've got some moves, let me tell you. We didn't know what we were doing, but they looked really good out in front.
When I saw this, I thought this was the actual Gangnam Style singer. I was like, he was out there.
They did have us do the Gangnam Style moves. It was pretty fun.
I love the tutu. That's all I keep seeing is the tutu.
We're doing the mime and a bunch of other crazy moves, so.
Fantastic. And it wasn't the nicest of days, but it looked like it was still a good time and a good turnout. So
Someone bought our chair that we had on the show last time. They bought it. I was looking for it, and yeah, it was auctioned off.
the
and
pink
they
chair
sold
that
it.
you
Yep.
all signed?
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, that's good.
Well, a lot of people have been busy. There's a charity fashion show. It's called Fashions from the Heart, and there were about 7 of the Packers' better halves taking part in that, including Amanda Masthay. I think we see her first. Yes, there she is with her baby bump.
She looks so
great?
cute.
She looks adorable.
This was benefiting St. Vincent Hospital, and it goes to create a really special operating room, the proceeds from that. You saw Molly Crosby there.
So Alyssa,
Alyssa is?
better half to Janice.
Janice, that's right, yep.
She looks great.
The fashions are fantastic.
They are. I love that last dress.
Laura
Laura,
Lang,
yep.
TJ Lang's wife, and then Laura and her daughter Lennon Hawk. Look at how cute they
They're
look like.
fashionistas.
She's
They belonged up there.
adorable. They are. She's always.
They were ready to travel.
Yep.
And that's Abby.
Abby Bulaga.
Those are hot pants.
I like that sweater.
So they had a really good turnout for the fashion show. About 500 people turned out, and all the wives looked great, didn't they?
Yes,
They did. Look
amazing.
great.
And you're getting ready for a big fashion show.
I am. I watched it last year with Courtney Finley, Nicolette Burnett. And it's just for Alzheimer's awareness. It's called the Forget Me Not Fashion Show. And I actually work with someone who had Alzheimer's, and I did home health care, getting my master's. So it's kind of special for me because like, me and the guy had gotten really close and he passed away. So definitely wanted to do it again this year.
And Mike is going to be modeling with you?
Yeah, Mike is going to be modeling. He didn't have a choice. I kind of dragged him with me, but I think it'll be fun for us to do something together.
Well, there he is right now. It's called Forget Me Not, and it's coming up soon. So, of course, we'll have new pictures for you the next time that we all get together here.
Yep,
Does
sounds
that
great.
sound good?
Yep.
Well, let's get to the wedding,
Yes.
shall we? Audie is no longer a fiance. She's a wife.
Oh, yeah, we're married and we're like in marital bliss right now. Just enjoying being married and just relaxing and enjoying time with one another. We're like re-getting to know each other.
Yeah.
If you're new to the show this year, last year we spent a lot of time talking about Heaven and Audie's wedding preparation. So to be able to see the photos is so great. So why don't you take us through your photo album that not too many people have seen,
No,
including
this is an
you.
exclusive, right? This was right after the ceremony when we were like walking out. So this was after we said our vows, and it looks really good. I can't.
I just saw it. It's good.
And this
Wow.
was okay. This is in front of our high school that we met.
Oh, that's
So
special.
They built a new building. This was the new building. This was our first time actually seeing a new school, but you can see it says like Martin Luther King Junior High School right there.
And where
So-
is this? What city?
Detroit, Michigan. Like right before the wedding, we did a first look. So we were like running around the city of Detroit, like downtown, different areas that were like just special places to Detroit, like historical places to capture like pictures like this.
Yeah.
And we ended up, that was the last place we went. We were riding past the school, and I told the photographer, I was like, this is where we met. And he was like, are you serious? We have to get a picture here. So we ended up being like an hour and a half late for the wedding because we were like running around taking all these pictures.
But it's worth it.
And my dress broke, and it was just terrible. It was a mess. My dress was like dirty from running around the streets of Detroit. This was like before we left to go, and the photographer just wanted to capture the moment. This was right after my mom helped me put on my dress and my
awesome
bridesmaids. Yeah, this was my bouquet. That was
Beautiful.
absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, I still have the bouquet in my refrigerator, and it's like so rotted that it needs to get thrown out. But I do not want to let it go.
It's beautiful.
Oh, that's stunning.
And that was like my second look. They just changed up my hair, and I put on a different dress.
Wow.
And I was during the reception.
You look
Those are my
great.
bridesmaids and my flower girls and junior bridesmaids. I didn't really have flower girls.
Now, is that a robe?
Yes, those were me and the flower girls or / junior bridesmaids had on the white ones, and then all the bridesmaids had on the blush robes.
That's cute.
Yeah, that was one of their gifts. So that's the ceremony room.
Looks spectacular.
Are you feeling emotional looking through these pictures? Are you
No,
good?
no, I'm good.
Heaven wanted to do it all over again.
Yeah,
I'm
I did.
sure.
I don't want to do it all over again. I'm glad it happened one time. I don't want to get married again. I don't want to have another ceremony. It was a lot of work, and
Now you had
I'm
two
okay with
cakes?
how that turned out.
You had 2 cakes?
So the second cake was Nick's groom's cake. So he didn't know that I was getting him a groom's cake because like after the reception, I hosted like a casino night, and it was a surprise to him, but it was also a surprise to all of our guests. So we had the groom's cake there. Yeah, that was like after all the partying and stuff in the
What's the story with the hat?
well, we had a photo booth, so
Okay, there were all
they
sorts
had
of props.
Props, right? Yeah. So we just throwing on props. This was during the reception. You can see Courtney and Nicolette in the background. The purple dress is Courtney, and the
Courtney
orange
Finley.
one- yes,
And the red one is Nicolette.
Nicolette Burnett.
I
Yeah.
see a fourth of my face on the left side.
Yeah, you.
Oh, I see you. Yes, I can see you there.
We were
well, the
clearly having
pictures
fun.
Are just so
Right.
much fun. I thought maybe you were tossing your bouquet, but you were just dancing.
No,
in
we
it,
were
right?
just dancing. We were rapping. We were singing. I can't even remember the song. We were singing something about money or getting money again.
I don't know.
Well, thank you for sharing. It looked like a beautiful day, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, that was so pretty. Up next, we're going to head back into the kitchen. Amy Hanton, the cooking mom, is there with some delicious fall recipes for us. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Rachel. Good morning, everybody. Coming up, got apples. I'm going to show you what to do with them. I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite fall recipes, chicken breast in an apple cider cream sauce. And later, apple bars with the salted caramel drizzle on top. Oh, it's going to be good, so stick around. You're watching The Better Half. Hi everybody, welcome back. You're watching The Better Half. I'm Amy Hatton, also known as the Cooking Mom, in the kitchen with Heaven. Good morning, good to see you.
Morning, thank you for having me.
You bet. 'Tis the season for apples. My daughter and I go apple picking every year, and we always pick way too many. Have you ever taken the kiddos
I actually
apple
never
picking?
have.
You
No.
have to go.
I have to try it.
There's so
I
many
will.
great places in Wisconsin to go, and it's just a neat picture opportunity, and it's just so much fun. You get some hot apple cider, and maybe the little store. I love the store afterwards,
Yeah.
the farm store. They have sometimes apple donuts, and like I say, then you come home and you have more apples
There you
than you
go.
ever know to do it. So I put a whole bunch of really fun apple recipes on my website, thecookingmom.com, from homemade slow cooker applesauce
Yum.
to a bunch of different apple desserts. And coming up, we're actually going to make an amazing, easy apple dessert. But right now, I thought we'd do something a little savory with apples.
Okay,
Because
let's
people
get to
think
it.
apples that just think dessert. So I like to incorporate apples in salads, appetizers, and this is a chicken dish. So it's really quick and easy. So the first thing we're going to do is I've got 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and if your family's a little bit bigger,
More
do a
chicken.
couple more, exactly. And I put them into a plastic bag, and this is a way to pound them out a little bit without having the entire kitchen
Splattered.
covered with chicken.
Chicken
so
juice.
You get to get out those frustrations
Yeah.
and just pound. Use the flat side of the
Okay.
mallet, and you don't have to, go too crazy. Just kind of, come on, girlfriend.
I can go
A little-
harder?
Yeah, a little bit. Are you doing the powder puff? You gotta kind of do it. All right. there
Clearly,
you go.
I don't cook.
So over here, I actually have 2 cups of apple cider. Happens to be the good stuff. And I'm going to add that to a saucepan and let that simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes until it just kind of starts to reduce down, and it's going to be a really nice, sweet addition to this dish. It's going to be more of a savory dish, but the apple cider is also going to give it some great apple flavor and sweeten it up a little bit. You are doing really good.
Keep
doing
going?
perfect. No, you're doing great.
Perfect.
One of the reasons that we pound those out is I'm always in a hurry. I'm
Okay.
not a chef. I'm just a real mom in the trenches trying to get dinner on the table. So if it can happen in like 15 or 20 minutes or less, golden.
That's
so
my type of meal.
This, you pound them out a little bit, they'll cook more evenly, and they'll cook a lot quicker. So, all right, so over in here we just have regular flour, and we're going to season the heck out of it with some garlic salt. So that's a great way to get some garlic flavor in there, but we didn't have to mess with, peeling garlic
Yep.
and all that kind of good stuff. Always looking for shortcuts. So at this point, we're going to dredge, which is the fancy word for dunk and dip. And I'm going to let you handle this because I know you
Perfect.
can do it.
I can do it.
Okay, so basically we're going to, yep, you can use your hands.
I use my hands when I cook, so.
You know what, that's all good. I do too, actually, and we've got a sink right behind. So I'm doing a couple
Yep.
tablespoons of butter, and if you run out of butter, you don't have to go to the grocery store. We just ran a quick trip. They've got butter, eggs, all sorts of great stuff that you can just get on the fly. One of the sponsors of the show. Love, love, love me some Quick Trip. Okay, so perfect. In, now, actually, you are rocking and rolling. You're my kind of gal. That's exactly it. Into the pan, and these go pretty quickly. I just want to get them nice and golden, and then they'll continue to cook a little bit in the sauce. I'm doing this in butter, but you could also certainly do this in olive oil if you wanted to keep it a little more healthy.
little healthier,
But
yeah.
browning the chicken in butter, you get a nice
better
golden,
flavor.
You really do.
You get a good flavor.
Totally. Do the kiddos like chicken in your house?
We eat lots of chicken.
Okay, we eat a ton of chicken.
Yeah.
But I think we all get stuck in a chicken recipe rut. It's like
Yeah.
it can get really boring after a while.
I feel like we do a lot of baked chicken, and so sometimes you want to like jazz it up.
Totally
so,
agree.
yeah.
So this is a dish that you would actually find maybe perfect at a restaurant, and you'd pay like 25, 30 bucks an entree for something like this. Save some dough, make it at home. This is a really nice special weeknight dinner, or
Yep.
even like a date night dinner with the hubby. Because it seems a little fancy. Here you go. Here's a dry.
Fancy's good.
Yeah, it is. It seems a little fancy, but yet it's super duper easy. So we're just looking for a little bit of color on these chicken breasts, and that won't take long.
It smells really good
Almost
already.
there. Okay, I think I'm going to have you, while these are doing their thing, chop up a little bit of parsley. So I'm going to wipe this board. And then I've got some flat leaf parsley there that we just want to give that a rough chop, and that's going to just kind of add a little bit of flavor and a little bit of green, a little bit of garnish at the end of the dish. So I'm going to quickly give these a flip. And because we pounded these, they just take a few minutes.
faster.
Yeah, and that flour will actually help
That's a
thicken
good
the
tip
sauce.
to know.
Yeah, and
About
if
pounding
you're
it out.
really, really in a hurry, chop the chicken up into little pieces, you know, and you notice I've got a ginormous skillet.
Yeah.
I love a big skillet. Again, you've got a lot of space. You can do a lot of different chicken breasts in there, and it cooks very, very quickly.
Perfect.
So at home, you're going to let that cook a little bit longer, but we're going to speed this along a little bit. Take the chicken breasts once they've gotten some nice color, remove them to a plate, and then you see all the great brown stuff in the bottom of the pan? That, my lady, is flavor. Really great flavor. A lot of people just throw that out and they're done with it. At the restaurant, they take advantage of all these great brown bits, and we're going to do that too. So we're going to add some of this apple cider. And that's what it's supposed to do. That is called deglazing the pan, is a fancy word for that. Now we're going to do a little bit of Dijon mustard. So it has a sweet from the apple cider, but it's also going to be a little savory with some mustard.
Yeah.
And I do like to use the Dijon mustard. I don't want you to use the yellow mustard.
Better flavor.
A little bit of heavy cream. And just go ahead and I'm not a big fan of measuring. That's perfect. Or a lot of heavy cream. It's all good. And now we've got all the great savory bits from the bottom. And we're taking advantage
like a
of
gravy,
Absolutely.
kind of.
It's like an apple cider gravy. We'll do
Perfect.
a little bit of salt and pepper and the mustard in there. This is one of my kind of go-to fall dishes. That's quicker, really, than Chinese takeout pizza delivery. But by the time
it's
you get
healthier,
it,
and it's
really
good
is.
flavor. You can do it right at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love to serve chicken with some sort of a sauce. Especially chicken breasts can be a little bit dry, so some sort of a
Keeps them
sauce.
moist.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to take the chicken at this point, get it back in here, just to finish cooking. And I love to serve this dish because we've got that great apple cider cream sauce. I really like to serve it with rice or a mashed potatoes.
That's my favorite.
To do
good rice.
I do too.
Yeah.
We haven't used just some wild rice here, just the boxed wild rice, or you could certainly take your time and do the real wild rice that takes a while. Then this is my apple gorgonzola salad. It's just spring mix lettuce tossed in a light apple cider vinaigrette with fresh apples, walnuts, and gorgonzola cheese. And now we're going to take a little bit of that parsley and just kind of, at home, let this cook a little bit longer so it just kind of coats, the juice kind of coats the back of the spoon. But we'll hurry things along
and
a
this will
little bit
thicken, correct? The sauce will thicken over
Absolutely. If you let this cook just a few minutes, because we've got such a big pan, it's going to reduce down. And we'll take that chicken, take some of the juice and just kind of drizzle it over.
I probably would drizzle the juice on my rice too.
Yeah,
I'm
with you.
That's how we do it our
Me
household.
too. More
everything.
More gravy, more better. This is delicious. It's really a nice, easy, simple, inexpensive fall dish.
I'll have to try this out at
doable.
home.
You can do
Yeah,
this.
just have to try this out at home.
You are the best dredger I have seen. You get an A+ for your dredging.
thank you.
Well, I hope you're hungry for dessert.
Yep, of
coming up, we're going to make apple pie bars. So way easier than apple pie. And then the best part, it has a salted caramel sauce that gets drizzled on top. So
Caramel's good.
Yes. Coming up, not only do the Packer wives look great, they can also play some football. We're going to tell you about a really neat thing. The ladies are playing some football for a really great cause, and we'll tell you more coming up. Stay with us. You're watching The Better Half.
Welcome back to The Better Half. And these ladies, they're married to football players, but they play football too, and they're getting ready for an upcoming Powder Puff football game. And Chantrell Williams is here, married to Tremont Williams, and this is kind of your baby. This is your thing, the Powder Puff game.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
And I know you brought Lori along with the American Cancer Society. What is, Chantrell, what is the Powder Puff game?
Well, the Powder Puff game is where I
Get all your friends to play football.
I contact all the ladies and see if they want to get out and play football for a great cause.
And you did it for the first time last year.
Yes,
How did that go? What was that like?
It was pretty fun. It was different, but fun. I think all the ladies enjoyed it also, just to get out and do what your husband does on a daily basis.
It was definitely competitive last year.
It was a little cold too, I remember, but you got a lot of the women to participate. Emily Nelson was out there, Lindsay Kuhn, we saw Molly Crosby. What did they say to you about being part of this football game?
I think everybody had a great experience because a lot of them never really played football or anything. And it's just good to go out and see what it takes to do what their husband does on every game, especially in the cold weather.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
And were you there last year?
I was there. Me and Audie were actually both there last year, and It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a little harder than we expected, I must admit. You know, we were like tired and huffing and puffing, but
Definitely winded.
yeah, we had a blast though.
Look at her go. Oh, yeah, Lindsay got into
Yeah,
some
it's flag
trouble for
football,
that.
Lindsay. No, I'm kidding.
Flag football, not tackle. She's forgiven. How do you guys have practices leading up to this, Chantrell?
We had one practice last year, and I think it showed with the score. We ended in a tie, but we had fun. I must say we had fun.
But although
Great
we only
time.
had one practice, we looked like
Looked
we
like
knew what we were doing.
That's all that matters.
And do you have coaches?
Yes, ma'am. Tremont is coaching the pink team, and Devon House is coaching the white team this year again.
Okay, so Tremont and Devon House will be there coaching you guys on.
Yes, ma'am.
You ladies. And it's all
right.
for a good cause. And Lori, tell us a little bit about how the American Cancer Society is part of this.
Sure. Tremont and Chantrell reached out to the American Cancer Society. Obviously, breast cancer is something very important to them. And the really cool thing about how they reached out to us is that it's not just putting your name on the event. They came out and they did something. They put in the work and had a really good time with us. All the funds raised go to help women get mammograms. That means mammograms and screening, local programs and services here for our breast cancer survivors, as well as breast cancer research. So.
And Chantrell, you have a story of breast cancer in your family. Tell us a little bit about why this is so important to you.
Well, my grandmother and her 3 daughters had breast cancer. We lost one of my aunts to breast cancer, and my mom and my aunt and my grandmother are survivors.
That's
So
such a
it's
blessing.
That is
Wow.
a blessing.
And it's probably a good lesson for you know the wives and all your friends to remember to keep themselves healthy and have themselves checked.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, on a regular. Even though, like, my mom them has the gene, the breast cancer gene, I don't have it. I went to get tested for it, and mine came back negative, but I still have to go and get tested regularly.
Yeah. And so that raised your awareness then, like being in your family to start it sooner, because typically don't they do mammograms at like 40? So for you, that was probably like huge just to
Yes.
check your health.
It's
and-
scary, but I think it's better to know, especially with me having a daughter. I want to be as upfront with her about everything, to take the necessary measurements to prevent it. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lori, that's the right message to send to everyone, isn't it?
It's really neat, you know, being with the organization and watching us educate and kind of get that awareness out there, and seeing, you know, younger and younger people being diagnosed because they know their body and they're recognizing these things and hearing and educating themselves.
Well, can people go and watch the game?
yes, ma'am. Please come out on Tuesday, October 14th at Joannis Stadium. Gates open at 4:30.
Excellent. And you can help out the cause.
Yes, ma'am.
Think pink, everyone, and play a little football.
May the
We'll
best
see you
team
there. Thanks, Chantrell.
Thanks for having me.
A lot more still to come here on The Better Half. Up next, what will you be for Halloween? Well, we have some models in here to show us, and the ideas. You can do this on the cheap. We'll explain coming up on The Better Half. Welcome back to The Better Half. You know, Halloween is right around the corner, and we need to figure out what we're going to wear, but most importantly, our kids. And we have some great ideas. Mary Savitan is a fashion expert from Goodwill, and Halloween is a huge time of year
Huge time
for Goodwill, right?
Yes, big sales for Goodwill. And we have lots of stuff in the stores, already made costumes, and then, of course, lots of things that you can just buy to make your own. So that's what we want to show you today. how
Well,
you
we've
can
got a
make your
great
own.
one right here, and let's do this quick before we lose.
This is EJ and Megan, and Megan is the magician, and here's her little boy is the bunny coming out of the hat.
Oh, come back this way. Can you come back here?
Oh, so for Megan, I found somebody's fancy prom dress,
look at
cut
that.
it down, and made her a cape. That's just a black dress out of the ladies' department. And for EJ, I made a laundry.
EJ,
I took
come
a laundry
here.
basket and made
back.
a big top hat and found him.
We need to see your
That's a
hat.
laundry basket?
It's a laundry
That is
basket.
the
Cut the
most
bottom
adorable
off,
costume.
covered it with a little bit of felt and just some tag board to get the brim, and then his hat I just made out
here, come
of a
with
fake
Mom.
fur jacket.
Oh, look at how cute. Now you can see. So it's a laundry basket in there.
Yes, laundry. Yep.
What do you think? Can you hop for us like a bunny? Yeah.
Oh, there you go, buddy.
All right, we get the idea. That's so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Megan.
That is super cute.
By the way, he was perfect right before we came on the air, right? He was adorable.
And
Next up.
Next we have Nina, and she's an employee at Goodwill, and she's Peter Pan. I mean, how classic can you get? So for her, I just found some green felt, but you could use a green sweater, green tunic, green jacket, and just some fake fur to make her a little more textured than just a traditional Peter Pan. Tights, boots we found at Goodwill, and then of course Peter Pan has to have the hat.
Did you make the hat?
I made the hat just out of leftover felt, and then she's just got one of those little inexpensive flashlights to have a little Tinkerbell with her. So.
Yeah, perfect.
Now I think it's amazing because now a boy can use this or a girl.
Right, anybody.
So it's like unisex.
Yeah, it's a
cool.
unisex costume, anybody, and any age. It could be a 5-year-old, could be a 30-year-old. So.
I think that's a great
I
idea.
know,
Thank
isn't
you.
she cute?
Yeah.
You're adorable.
Thank you, Nina.
Yes,
You look really
adorable.
good. Yep.
Very good.
And then we have Ava, who is Anna from the Frozen movie, and we all know how popular Frozen is. It continues to be.
There's going to be a lot of little Anna and Elsas running around this Halloween.
There is. So for her costume, I went to the women's department. So her skirt is a woman's dress, just cut off the top and made it fit. Her cape is somebody's prom dress or bridesmaid's dress, the same thing, cut it off and just added a little capelet. And the Anna character has a lot of details, so instead of going to that much trouble, I just got some glitter paint, fabric paint. Just made little scallops all the way around. Anybody can do that.
How creative,
That is very cute.
And the pom-poms, I found those at the fabric store. I sewed them, but you could just glue it right on.
You could just
need a
glue
lot of
it.
work, yeah.
You're very creative, and you are very adorable. I love it. Do you like your costume? Yeah, it looks great. About how much money are you spending on these?
Well, hers is a little bit more. Hers costs maybe $23 just because the prom dress is a little more. But to buy that costs easily $50 at the Disney
Yeah, you
store.
still save more than that.
Yeah, so
And that
we're
one's
really,
unique.
and
We
it's
love
very-
it. Thank you, Anna. What's her real name?
Her name is Ava. Okay, Ava's Anna, right?
This one, I love this one. This
And
is
this
adorable.
is Kira, and she's a book fairy, and so we thought, let's do something totally original, and she likes to read. So for her, I found a little dress that fit her, and this is just pages of books. You can find tons of books at Goodwill, accordion, fold them, and I stitched them on a piece of vinyl tablecloth, stitch it to the dress, and spray glitter.
Now
I
she's ready
love
for
how you
Halloween.
spray the
Isn't
glitter on
she?
it.
Yeah,
It gives it
well-
like an iridescent, beautiful glow.
Right,
It,
right.
it looks like a dress that you'll buy in the
Doesn't
store.
it?
Yeah.
And then instead of a fairy wand, well, she's got to have the fan because that. And you want to turn around, Kira, so her wings are the cover of a book.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now that's
And that
adorable.
is so cute.
Isn't it?
I like
Just-
how the purple matches the stockings.
Yeah, just something totally. And so her outfit costs $14.50 just from stuff I found at
So
Goodwill.
cute, and it's just pages from a book to make
Pages
that
from a
beautiful
book,
skirt.
Creative.
Do you feel pretty? You look
And
pretty.
you look right.
She's
I
ready
love
for
it.
I love
Halloween.
that
She
too.
is ready
So
for
cute.
Halloween.
Will you stay right there, okay? And we want to ask you a little bit more about Goodwill at Halloween time, and we mentioned that it's a big time of year.
Right.
You have ready-made costumes, but then you could also put together stuff.
Right,
Fine.
and there's a lot of things that people are donating, the old costumes, you wear it once, you give it back. And then I like to shop all through the store. You never know what you're going to find for costumes.
Yeah.
And so everything that's donated, everything that's sold goes to support Goodwill's missions, which is training and helping people with disability and disadvantages find a job. So every penny goes to a really, really good cause supporting the mission.
I got my pink shirt from Goodwill,
Yes.
and you're a big Goodwill
I
shopper,
love
too.
Goodwill. Yes, I'm actually going to go there today.
Oh, good.
Have you been inspired? Is that right? Do you dress up for Halloween?
No,
No?
but I'm thinking me and Nick should when we answer the door. We usually just come in regular clothes, but that would be a good
It's
idea this
fun,
year.
and then you could take selfies, and it's fun.
It's all about selfies.
We had over 100 kids last year, so.
You should dress
you
up,
should
and if you
dress
need
up.
ideas, you ask Mary.
You just
Mary,
ask me, I'll help you.
Thanks for being back
Well,
again.
Thank you for having
I
us.
love that
Always
segment.
so much fun.
Coming up, we're getting a little crafty next. It's a segment about sewing pillows for a great cause. Some of our better halves took part in this, and we'll tell you all about it coming up on The Better Half. Each week on The Better Half, we have our Pet of the Week contest, highlighting a pet during the show, and if your pet is picked as the week's winner, you win a $50 gift certificate to a local veterinarian in your community. And we have a couple of pets to show you, 3 to be exact. Our first pet, Miss Chloe, has her cheerleading outfit on to cheer on the green and gold, of course. Then there's Kahlua,
Oh, wow.
who gave the Packers
Super
a
cute.
standing ovation for the recent win. And our winner this week, look at those eyes. It's Sasha sporting her Packers gear. You can submit your photos through the Better Half Facebook page, the Twitter page, or email petoftheweek@thebetterhalf.tv. To find the right vet for your pet, go to WVMA.org and click on resources to find a WVMA member veterinarian near you. Great pets again. That was fun. Well, I mean, we've talked about the games and the powder puff and the walks and the fashion shows, but there was even more that we did over the last week, right?
Yep.
We did a special sewing for a cause, and this was your discovery, Rosie.
Yes, I call it my thing.
So tell us about it. How did you find this place?
So it started a couple years ago. I wanted to make like a painting smock for Aiden, and because you can't really find Disney themed painting clothing, so I wanted to do it myself. And then I said, okay, so I have the fabric. I don't have a sewing machine. So I found it on Google, and it's amazing. I went there, and I really didn't know where to start. You know, it was a new project for me, and they kind of guided me along. They took the pressure away.
Yep.
They made me feel comfortable. I didn't feel uncomfortable asking a question. No question was ever too silly. So I thought it was amazing. It was great.
And then she found out that they do this sewing for a cause thing, so she
Yeah.
got her friends together, went to a place called Life's a Stitch. Take a look.
Once a month we do Sew for a Cause here, and that is a project where we donate our time, and we have ladies, customers that'll come in and they'll donate their time and their expertise to sew projects for nonprofit or for charity. Right now we're working with the Willow Tree, and they are a child advocacy program located in De Pere. They help children who have experienced trauma, and what we do for them is we are making pillowcases. So when a child experiences a trauma, they will come to the Willow Tree, and the first step in that healing process of getting through that trauma is that they get to go and they get to pick out a pillowcase. So when they experience that trauma, they don't have a choice. It's something that just happens to them. We donate the fabric for those pillowcases. We have the machines that we give, allow the ladies to use here once a month. And then we also accept donations of fabric so that the ladies have lots to choose from. So today the ladies are learning how to pin, iron. They're assembling the pillowcases with the sewing machine and with the serger. Then they're making the hot dog method. So it's actually a process where the cup of the pillowcase is caught in the hem and everything is caught together, and they kind of pull it through, and voila, the pillowcase is done. So when people donate their time, they get back a feeling of helping, and right now there's a lot going on in our world and in our society, and it's just nice that you can come in for an hour or for 2 hours and just relax, and you're doing something good for somebody else. So there's that feeling of accomplishment because they see what they've done, but there's also that warmth of helping others.
There you go. You guys did so great. How many pillowcases did you make that day?
About, I think, 10 or 20.
It was more than us, yeah. I was going to say at
25.
least 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it went really fast. Bianca Adams was the other better half there. She's married to Aaron Adams. And did you have a good time?
It was super fun. It was amazing. It was kind of like a smooth process. It was fun. It was like sort of like a girls get together.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed myself. I was going to say, like, working with people who know what they're doing, who are passionate about that, it made it more fun for me. And then obviously, we for a good cause, so I had a good time.
Yeah, I was there just witnessing it, and it was really fun.
The best part was the hot dog when you kind of pull the pillowcase out from the inside out, and I don't know why that was so fun, but it was.
I felt accomplished. It was like, almost there,
yeah, we're
almost
close.
there, voila.
And you did it. So Sewing for a Cause is at Life's a Stitch. That was in De Pere in the area, and a big thanks to Mikey and everyone there for helping us out with that. That was super fun. And they'll be back. We've got more, because Rosie's getting a sewing machine, so she has more ideas.
Yes, you all got to come. You got to come. It's worth the try.
Up next, we're headed back into the kitchen for a fall dessert recipe you are not going to want to miss. How does this sound? salted caramel apple pie bars.
I'm sold already.
The better half will be right back.
Hi, welcome back everybody. You're watching The Better Half. I'm Amy Hatton, also known as the Cooking Mom, and we are cooking up some great apple recipes with Heaven. The chicken breast with the apple cider cream.
Yes.
I can hardly wait for the ladies.
I know, my stomach's grumbling. Can't wait to
taste
try
it.
it.
And it's so easy breezy. This is another fun one. It's really trendy right now, this whole salted caramel thing, you know. It's yummy. You know, it's like the salty and the sweet.
I was gonna say, so if you have some people have a thing for that, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of salty, so this is gonna be great.
I'm all over it. We're making salted caramel apple pie bars. Really easy breezy and a perfect fall dessert. So I'm going to put you to work and have you peel 2 apples, 2 big apples. Now if your apples are smaller, you're going to want to use 3 to 4 apples. So just peel them and chunk them up. And you were saying that your mom just used a knife.
Yeah.
So it's up to you how you want to use it, a vegetable peeler or a knife. I started the salted caramel sauce, and what I did is just started with 1 cup of sugar and put it into a dry, I like to use a non-stick pan. And it takes a little bit. You have to be patient, but magic happens. The sugar, it's kind of like a science experiment. And I do love having, it seriously is, because it turns into this like golden brown. And who knew sugar would do this? And homemade caramel sauce is so easy to do. If you are in the kitchen making this with the kids, the caramel sauce is something you kind of want them to back away from. It can get really hot. Exactly. So we are almost ready to start adding the rest of the ingredients for the caramel sauce. So I'm going to move on to the shortbread crust. And a lot of these ingredients, Heaven, what I like about this recipe is you have so many of them at home. And if you don't have them home, run to Quick Trip, get some butter. So we've got some melted butter here, flour. This is the shortbread crust. Pinch of salt, sugar, and some vanilla. So it's a really easy.
It sounds easy. I do have all that right in my kitchen at home.
Absolutely. In fact, I would, this makes an 8x8 pan, but if you've got, more people coming, double the recipe and do it in a 9x13.
We're good to go. Can I just toss these in a bowl?
You are doing great. Okay, so here, you see how easy that crust comes together? You don't have to worry about rolling it or anything like that. One of my tips and tricks whenever I'm doing something like that you're going to cut, like brownies or some sort of a bars, line your pan with foil, spray it, and then have it overlapping the pan so that you'll see the bars will lift out, no problem.
Easy, clean.
Yep, absolutely. I love to cook. I'm all about easy recipes, but I am not
I always use foil,
Yeah,
too.
oh yeah. Not a big fan of doing the dishes at all, unless my husband's doing them. Okay. Which is
or
rare.
Your kids.
Yeah, the kids. I put my kids to work on them. So this is great if you can get this in the oven for about 15 minutes to pre-bake the crust. Time-wise here, we're just going to kind of be moving this recipe along. So we'll put it in for a few minutes.
My favorite part about this right now is the smell.
I know.
All the cinnamon.
Oh, no kidding. This, they say, bake an apple pie and it'll get your house to smell good. Same thing. This recipe will make the house smell amazing. Okay, back to here's the magic with this sugar. So this is just straight up sugar, and it turns into this, see that?
Yeah, and how long do you have to let that sit on there for then?
Every stove is different, but it was there for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now I'm very slowly going to add, and carefully, some butter, because this can bubble up. So I'm adding some butter to that caramel, and it's going to melt right away. Smells amazing. And then gradually adding some heavy cream. And this is our caramel sauce. You could certainly skip this step and the bars don't even need caramel sauce, or you could just pick up some store-bought caramel sauce. But I was
going to say, what's a bar, though, without a good drizzle topping?
I'm with you on that one.
With chocolate, too. I'd probably try chocolate.
I'm totally with you
girl.
on that one. Oh, my gosh, it smells amazing. So we're just going to let this hang out and just keep it nice and warm. How are you doing on those apples? You are doing fantastic. So we're going to toss the apples with a little bit of flour, just like you would with apple pie. Perfect. This is going to kind of, form a little bit of a gravy together.
Gravy. Here we go.
You know what I mean? Thicken the apples a little bit like you would apple pie filling. A little bit of sugar, cinnamon, and just a pinch of nutmeg, just a little bit. All right, perfect. This is the apple filling. And we have one more step. a streusel topping. So, I mean, this recipe just keeps on going. So I love any kind of a pie with a streusel topping. We'll add the last of the apples in there. And you know what, your apples look great. They don't have to be, this is like kind of rustic dessert. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, rustic is in. So that means it doesn't have to look like some fancy pastry chef did it. You know,
Mine would never look
now you know it's homemade. So the streusel topping is just some oats. Just dump some oats in there, some brown sugar, flour, cinnamon, and you see that butter?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a pastry blender. You can just use 2 forks. You were saying that you didn't have a lot of fancy gadgets growing up. Me either. But this just makes it a little easier, and you're going to get a nice crumbly topping. So just kind of do like that.
Mash it down.
And I'm tossing my apples with the cinnamon. Now at home, you're going to let this crust bake a little bit longer, about 15 minutes.
I got to invest in one of these little gadgets.
Yeah, they do work really nicely. So our apple mixture goes on top of the crust that's been baked, and then the streusel goes on top of that. And if it's not all perfect, don't worry about it. All right, and that just gets dumped right over the top. Perfect. Nice crumbly. No skimping on that streusel. This goes back into the oven, continues to bake until the streusel is all golden and yummy. Now look at these. Here they are. They've cooled nicely. Our caramel sauce is done.
3 easy steps.
Yep, and look at this. They just comes out just like that. Really easy to cut.
Voila.
So you can just take a knife. Oh, look who shows up.
We smelled something good.
Yeah, okay. I've got a big knife here. We'll cut those into whatever size you want. How good does that caramel sauce smell? Oh my gosh, homemade caramel sauce. Really, really hot right now. We're gonna let it cool, and then we're gonna add our salt right at the end. We'll drizzle that. So are you ready to try these?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna put the recipe, a link to the recipe on the Better Half Facebook page. So stick around.
So there's more to go.
Oh, we're gonna drizzle the caramel over the top. Rachel, the best part.
Well, then I won't grab one yet.
No, don't go anywhere. We're gonna wrap things up and wrap up the Better Half. So stay with us. We'll be back.
Are they ready?
They are ready. But the best part is the salted caramel. So once it cools, the caramel thickens up, and then you can take sea salt or kosher salt, and you do a little drizzle, and you must make these this fall.
Now I can eat, right?
They're yummy, 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 yummy.
Now I can eat.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, you bet. I'm all about, I love me some salted caramel.
Yes, I do too.
All about that.
Yes.
Good
Oh my God,
stuff.
Yep.
Bring it
that
on.
on some ice cream.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, now
that
you're
too.
talking.
I've got to try these.
This is better than apple pie.
Too. Yeah, apple pie, you know, nothing wrong with that.
No.
This kind of kicks it up a notch.
Absolutely. And next week you're doing pumpkin recipes?
We are. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We're going from thinking pink to thinking orange.
I love pumpkin.
I do too. Pumpkin
I
spice.
love this.
Yep.
Yeah,
I have
that's
to create a pumpkin recipe.
You get on that.
Well, thanks for spending part of your day with us here on The Better Half, and we hope to see you on the next episode. Have a great day. Thanks, ladies. Thanks, Audie.
Thank you.